village of Murtana, about 13 kilometers 8 mi inland from the east coast of Asia Minor and some 8 kilometers 5 mi of the Sestrislakshu River. It appears that anciently, according to the Greek geographer Strabo, this river was navigable as far as Perga. Geography, 14, IV, 2 however, nearby Italia on the coast of Pamphylia seems to have served as Perga's harbour and, in time, even displaced Perga in importance. Compare Act 14. 24-26. It was to this city that the Apostle Paul and his associates came early in the course of his first missionary journey. Act 13. 13 Toward its close they spoke the word in Perga, but whether any of the populace accepted Christianity is not known. Act 14. 24-25. Pergamum Perga Middle. Citadel. Acropolis. A Mysian city in the NW part of Asiatic Turkey, Asia Minor, and the location of one of the 7 congregations to which the Apostle John addressed letters as recorded in Revelation. Re 1. 11. 2. 12-17 The city was about 80 kilometers 50 mi of Smyrna modern Izmir, and about 25 kilometers 15 mi from the coast of the Aegean Sea. Close to the site of ancient Pergamum lies modern Bergama. Pergamum was originally a fortress on a steep, isolated hill between 2 rivers. In time the city spread into the valley below, and the hill became the Acropolis. History. There is uncertainty as to the origin of the people of Pergamum, but some evidence points to a guy in Greece. By 420 BCE the city was striking coins, and in the next century Xenophon made mention of the city. After the death of Alexander the Great, it became Partotextoi acute Miritra Longo, Pirida 608 Gods Battling Giants. Picture, Volume 2, p. 945 The Sikh from all parts of Asia flocked to Pergamum because of its temple of Asclepius, the god of healing and medicine. An especially noteworthy aspect of religion in Pergamum was its worship of political rulers. The city built a magnificent temple for the worship of Caesar Augustus. Thus it was the first city to have a temple dedicated to the imperial cult. During the days of Emperors Trajan and Severus, 2 more such temples were constructed there, so that the Encyclopaedia Britannica calls Pergamum the chief center of the imperial cult under the early empire. 1959, Volume 17, p. 507 Such worship of the Roman Emperor doubtless served politically to weld all the various conquered countries of the empire together under a common god. They could each worship their local or national gods, but all must also worship the emperor. Where the throne of Satan is. In the Apostle John's letter to the congregation in Pergamum, he mentioned that the city was where Satan is dwelling and that the Christians were thus living where the throne of Satan is. Re 2. 13 The phrase has been referred to the complex of pagan cults. But the main allusion is probably to emperor worship. This was where the worship of the divine emperor had been made the touchstone of civic loyalty under Domitian. New Bible Dictionary, edited by J. Douglas, 1985, p. 912 Since the martyrdom of Antipas is mentioned in the same verse as the throne of Satan, Antipas may have been killed for refusing to worship Caesar. Perhaps an additional factor bearing on the identification of where the throne of Satan is was the prominent worship of Zeus, or Jupiter, the chief god among all the pagan gods and goddesses. Legend said that from the hill where Pergamum was built certain gods had witnessed the birth of Zeus, and the immense altar located on the Acropolis is considered one of the marvels of the age. Persons worshipping Zeus could have other gods, but were to view them as subordinate to him. The Christians in Pergamum were commended, though, because they held fast to their exclusive devotion to the true God, Jehovah, and did not deny the faith despite dwelling where the throne of Satan was. Teaching of Balaam. However, in the congregation there was the undermining influence of those holding fast the teaching of Balaam. Re 2. 14 This expression calls to mind the Mesopotamian prophet Balaam, who, after unsuccessful attempts to curse Israel, suggested using pagan women to draw male Israelites into the lewd worship of false gods. As a consequence of the resulting sexual immorality and idolatry, 24,000 Israelites died. New 25. 1-18. 1 Co 10. 8. See Balaam. Evidently some in the Pergamon congregation, those holding fast the teaching of Balaam, were condoning fornication. Jude 4, 11. 2 Pe 2. 14, 15. Some in the congregation had also been influenced by the teaching of the sect of Nicolaus, and they were urged to repent of that. Re 2. 15, 16. Pirida P. Riada separated. Forefather of a family of Solomon's servants, some of whom returned to Jerusalem with Zerubbabel. NE 7. 6, 7, 57. The name is spelled Perida at Ezra 2. 55. Perizzites Zites. One of the tribes that inhabited the land of Canaan before the Israelites occupied it. GE 13. 3-7. 34. 30. X3. 8, 17. They are not mentioned in the list of 70 families after the flood, which names the families of the Canaanite. GE 10. 15-18. Their ancestry is unknown. The Perizzites were one of the tribes whose land God promised to Abraham's seed. GE 15. 18-21.